When you started here at 1 o'clock and now at 3 o'clock, if the province has its way, 300 diesel trains would have gone past in that little hour and a half, 2 hours. And we're trying to stop that. We're trying to make sure that everything that is done between now and when this construction is finished is so that these trains will be electric trains. So that little lungs, like all of those little people I see running around here, breathing the air, can have a chance here in Ontario to breathe clean air. Now the province has said, oh, well, we're studying it. We discovered this week that their study is for a time after 2020. Where's the booze? Boo, exactly. We need this to be done now, not sometime after all these little lungs have grown up and have had their lungs permanently scarred by what those diesel trains will provide. We need you all to continue to put pressure on the Premier, to put pressure on the Minister of Transportation. I personally invited her here today, but she was too busy. She had something else to do. Well, we're trying to make sure that she understands the depth that people feel for this issue. This issue isn't about NIMBYism, because everybody here wants trains. Everybody here wants public transit. We've had some victories. When this all started, there was not going to be any extra stops along the route. We've got one. We need 3 or 4 more. We need one in Liberty Village, one in Parkdale, one in Mount Dennis, one in Carleton Village, one in, you name it. We need Sororan. We need one here. We need these trains to be electric. We need it to be public transit. Right now, up until the Clean Train Coalition started pushing, this was going to be a privately operated train line. But now it's going to be public transit. Yet another little victory for us. Now it's going to be really expensive public transit because the Premier, I can't compete with him. The Premier says this is going to have to be in place for 2015 for the Pan Am Games, and it's to be an elite service, a service that will ferry 200 people an hour between Union Station and Pearson Airport, that way. Union Station, Pearson Airport. Do you folks have any idea how much money this is going to cost you out of your tax dollars? Reach into your wallet now and give somebody $1,000, because that's what it's going to cost. $1.3 billion so that 200 people an hour can run between Union Station and the airport. That's an awful lot of money. That's more than the G20. When we're measuring things, we thought the G20 was extravagant. This is a lot of money, and we think it should be for more than 200 people an hour. It should be for all the communities that live along this corridor. It should be electric trains. It should be trains that can be used by everybody. Electric trains can stop more frequently, can have regenerative braking, use less energy. None of those things can be done with diesel trains. So the Clean Train Coalition supports electric trains, and the communities along the route support stops in their neighborhood, support the existence of a public transit system, not a $30. Who's going to ride it if it's $30 between here and Liberty Village? Anybody? Anybody? No. It's got to be real public transit with real public transit fares. That's what we're hoping to cause this government to change its mind and do between now and the Pan Am Games. Now, one thing that yes, absolutely, got to be done. The Minister of Transportation told us last week that the Pan Am Games was an absolute, that this line has to be up and running because the Premier made a promise to another government that they would have trains to our airport for this 200 people an hour in time for the Pan Am Games. A laudable goal, but only if it's electric. Only if it's electric. If it can't be electric, I don't think you're willing to sacrifice your children and sacrifice yourselves if it's not going to be electric. There is no excuse in the world to run that many diesel trains for a 15-day sporting event. Really, if that's what it's all about, the Premier has to get the message that if you can't do it electric by 2015, you don't do it diesel. You just don't. So we wrote to Minister Wynne and reminded her that in previous times, citizens groups have rallied against these big, expensive sporting events. And we suggested that a group might have to be formed called Breath Not Circuses. Okay? And maybe that's what the Clean Train Coalition is all about. But for now, the Clean Train Coalition is all about protecting this park, protecting your community, protecting the village of Weston, the village of Mount Dennis, protecting Sororan, protecting Parkdale, Liberty Village, and all the rest along the line. Thank you so much for coming out. It's been it's really heartening to see everybody out here. I do want to ask we had a rule that there were to be no political speeches because we knew there was an election on, and as soon as you let one talk, you got to let them all talk. And so, sorry over there, we're not letting you talk, but there is one person we would like to have speak, and it's the woman who is most responsible for making sure this park exists in the first place. And I'd ask Irene Atkinson to come up to the stage and address the folks about how important this park is and how